So hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'll be giving you guys a breakdown of how you get your CXC grade. So I've seen people comment asking what is a grade 3, what is a grade 2, what is a grade 1. And so in today's video I'll be explaining all of that, and after listening to everything you can decide if you think that you pass or you think that you fail or whatever. So we have several topics going to cover today, so just stay tuned and like, comment, share and subscribe. Okay, so the first thing, we have a listing when we work with. So okay, the breakdown of how you get a grade. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is that a grade 1 or a grade 2 or a grade 3 is not the same every year, and it is not the same for every subject. That is the first thing. So for example, maybe last year 2023, maybe a grade 1 was 90% and up for English, and then for a subject like maybe agricultural science, a grade 1 was probably like 95% and up, depending on how everybody performs, right? Depending on how everybody performs. So that means that a grade 1 is not the same every year, and is not the same for every subject. And basically, I'll try my best to explain. So for example, let's just say when I did exam back in 2021, let's just say that maybe everybody with 80% and up got a grade 1 for agri. Then in 2022, maybe let's just say that everybody in the Caribbean performed better, and then all of a sudden you hear, okay, a grade 1 is 90% and up, depending on the year. So me back in 2021 could have gotten a grade 1 in agri with, say, what may I say? Okay, so for example, back in 2021, I could have gotten a grade 1 with, let's just say I got maybe 84%, and that was a grade 1, right? Let's just say that. Let's just say maybe we get a 84%. This is just for example purposes only. So for example, we get 84%, and then CXC say, oh, we're gonna give her a grade 1, because for that year, depending on how everybody performed, they saw it fit to put a grade 1 at 80% and up. In 2022, maybe there was more competition where more students did better, and so they had to push the pass mark up. So now in 2022, the people who get a grade 1 were people who got 90% and up. So for example, my grade 1 in 2021 could have been a grade 2 in 2022. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you follow along. So basically, you get your grade based on how the entire Caribbean region performs. So not just how your classmate them perform, not just how the other high school them in Jamaica perform. It means that they take into consideration Guyana, Grenada, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Vincent, the entire Caribbean. So it's not just how one country performs. So if, for example, a subject like maths, you realize, alright, for maths, the grade them really not stay good every year. The grades them really don't stay good. So it means that based on what the CXC body sees fit, they can move the pass mark, because alright, it wouldn't make sense to fail everybody. Right? It wouldn't make sense to fail everybody. But at the same time, they have to maintain a certain standard. So it don't mean that they're gonna make everybody or anybody get with a grade. No. What they'll do, they'll try their best to accommodate the lower grades, while I guess upholding integrity in some sense, if that makes sense. So basically, let's just say someone with a grade 1 in maths. Maybe they had only 70%, but because everybody did so terribly, as in everybody did so badly, it's like them said this 70% is like a grade 1 to we. So everybody 70 and up end up get a grade 1 that year, for example purposes only again. But hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. Say, So it depends on how everybody performs. And then somebody with a grade 3 probably gets maybe they had 50% and they got a grade 3. Well, as I said, it changes every year. So not because last year, oh, somebody did them only have 60% and get grade 2. It don't mean say you're gonna get so lucky, because the pass mark changes every year. So that person can have 60% and get away with a grade 2. Then your year come and you get the 60 and 60% and you end up fail, you get a grade 4. Because it changes depending on how the entire Caribbean performs. So the better everybody else in the Caribbean does, it makes it harder for you to get a grade 1, get a grade 2, or get a grade 3. Basically, it makes it more competitive. So your grades have to be more competitive to fit into the grade 1 category, or grade 2 category, or grade 3 category. Right, so point is that study for your exams and actually do your SBA, and don't depend on everybody else to fail off so you can get a good grade. Don't depend on that. Right? Don't depend on that. And me soon get into another topic in this video about people who say them pass without studying. That's a whole other something me soon get into. But as I said, do not depend or say, alright, everybody, you don't know what people are doing on the exam, you don't know. So don't just go and say, oh, I mean, I feel like the people in the Caribbean are going to do good this year and me will get a grade 3 because them not going to do good. Do your best on the exam and just hope for the best. As I say, the mark scheme, no, well, not the mark scheme, the grade points or the cutoff points are different every year. So the cutoff point for a grade 1 and the subject is also a factor. So the cutoff point for a grade 1 this year for English could be 90%. 90% and up will get a grade 1, right? And the cutoff point for maybe like, say for example, agriculture. Maybe agriculture was really competitive. The grades were really competitive. So the cutoff point was 95, maybe 92% and up will get a grade 1. And everybody else grade 2 and grade 3, depending on how competitive. Because if, for example, you have a subject like agri, and this is example purposes only again, let's just say, alright, everybody do agri this year, and you realize, say, enough people are get 80, 90, 100, what CXC are going to do? CXC are going to push the pass mark up, because obviously everybody are do good. So you're going up with a grade 1, a grade 2, a grade 3. And in my year, what I felt happened, so basically I have a grade 2 in CXC biology. And me know me do something on the paper, like more than do something on the paper, right? Me know so me angle the paper and me still get a grade 2. And it was concerning, right? So when me learn more about how the entire mark scheme or the entire cutoff point thing work, it just means that year when me do CSEC biology, it was more competitive. So it don't mean say me never done up on the paper. It just means say it was competitive. And so me end up falling at the grade 2 category because they pushed the pass mark higher because it was more competitive. Right? So that is that. Now when me do CSEC back in 2021, I made do 2 subjects in 2020. Well, yeah, whatever, yeah. Anyways, I had grade 1 in English, grade 1 in Agri, grade 1 in Social, grade 1 in HSB, grade 1 in IT, grade 1 in Foods, and grade 1 in Family and Resource Management. And I had a grade, well, I still have a grade 2 in Chemistry, Biology, and Maths, and 1 grade 3 in Physics, right? So that's my little background of CSEC right there, right? But basically, it changes every year, and you just have to ensure that you prepare properly for your exams and don't depend on everybody to fail out, right? So that's just a little thing that you should note. Just note, say, the cutoff point or the curve that they use every year is different. They modify it based on how everybody in the Caribbean performs, and they modify it based on the subject specifically, right? So it's not a country thing, it's the entire Caribbean region, right? So just note that. So now the other thing that I want to address, so basically your SBA, your paper 1 and your paper 2, that is what makes up your grade. Yeah, we know that paper 2 has the most marks. We know that part, right? About 50% for most subjects, right? Most, if not all. Yep, and then the SBA is about 20-21%, depending on the subject. They're about 20-21%. Yeah. and then the paper one is about 30%. Again, it changes and it differs by the subject. Okay, so you going into the exam, you should have a good SBA going into the exam. So it don't matter if a 45 your SBA mark out, it will be divided up again to fit into 20 or 21% thereabout, right? In that region, 20 to 21% thereabout. Just know that. So of the two papers, paper one and paper two, the paper two is the heavier paper, and it also have the most marks, right? The best thing that you can do for yourself is going into the exam with a strong SBA grade, as in next to perfection. The closer it is to the intended grade, the better it is for you. So the closer it is to perfection, the better you do on an SBA. And you having the better SBA grade is basically free marks. Basically free marks going into the exam, because that mark could be either one mark more or 2 marks more. Sometimes that 1 mark can make the difference with you getting a grade 1 and a grade 2, and you getting a grade 2 and a grade 3, if you get what I say. So some people might feel like, oh man, I don't know SB and whatever, and them lay and them do whatever. But guess what? Sometimes that's why people get grade 3. Maybe them could have get the grade 2, maybe them just need 1 mark for get into the grade 2 category. Or sometimes that is why sometimes people get grade 2, because them just need the 1 or 2 or the 3 marks where them could have get on the SBA where them never do, or them never do good, and then would have get a grade 1. And sometimes it's the same 1 or 2 marks could have make you get a distinction, right? It could have make you get a distinction. So don't underestimate the SBA. Every single mark, every single point counts. So the SBA, having a good SBA, MCQ, multiple choice, easy. As long as you watch the past paper videos, they make your math set up quick and fast. Paper 2 is the one that you can really prepare for based on what I've been seeing so far. It doesn't seem like say this year was a bad year. It look like the CXC is gonna take time on the paper them based on what I've been hearing. So people are say yes, them angle the paper and me not hear as much. The only thing is maths. Every year maths is an issue, but other than maths, like biology, people are say go good and rate it, so that's good. CXC of them days or them years when them generous, right? Or whatever. So far that is good. Now let me see. So having a good SBA grade, doing good on your paper 1, doing good on your paper 2, and you're literally already there. So basically the 3 of them are what makes up your grade, basically. We even want to talk about what me just say. Anyways, yeah, basically that makes up your grade, the 3 of them. Right? So the next point is, okay, so people talking about how them never study and still pass. Listen to me, people who say them never study and pass is a chance thing, and when them say puss and dog don't have the same luck, some people just lucky in a life like that, right? Some people just lucky and them can get through, and then you have the set of people where have you reset a subject 5 times. So you decide which category you are in. If you want to take the chance and have to reset a subject 2, 3, 4 times, go ahead. If you feel like you have that good luck. Because let me be honest, people can study the night before and still pass the exam. Depends on what they put on the exam. And especially if you have studied that part, especially for the paper 2, if you have studied that part, you can pass. If your SBA grade is good, and so you watch the past videos to your paper 1, or no matter, maybe you guess out the entire paper 1, the entire 60 question you guess them, and you just happen to can guess right. You having a good SBA and you get a good grade from the paper 1, and so you just maybe only half of the paper you write since one, the other half are rubbish, but you can still pass. Honestly, you can still pass. But as we say, puss and dog do not have the same luck. So if you want chances, some people just lucky in a life, and a luck will carry them from Whopper King Philip come straight. So if you want to take the chance, you can. But yeah, it's not impossible to not study and still pass. But it's up to you if you really want to take that chance or whatever. And yeah, basically. Yeah, alright. So the next thing is, people always say, okay, I left the math. So this is a scenario. I left the math paper 2 blank. or you left P side blank, you left R like blank or whatever, can you still pass? Okay, I think by now CXC not have much. Okay, so if you're a math sparks, you can disregard this part of the video, but yeah. So if you're not a maths person, you know you're not good for maths, and you're not a maths person and you're not really good for maths and all that stuff, then you can probably, this is for you, this section is for you. But if you're a maths sparks, get away from this part of the video. But I know I don't think CXC have much expectations, because the truth is that, especially with what me see I go on in Jamaica alone, we have a maths problem. Me not even ask, me tell you we have a maths problem in Jamaica. Right? Some simple addition, subtraction and division, we have issues in Jamaica. If you go on YouTube and watch some of them little video, like public interview video, and the person go out in the streets and them ask some little simple addition or something, and or some little riddle questions or whatever, and them can't answer, big people can't answer. So imagine the poor people them. At this point, me only speak for Jamaica based on what me see. Me go see at least half. Me not go say more than half. Me go see at least half of Jamaica. The maths not did it. It is not where it should be. Honestly. Anyways, but I think by now CXC know what to expect from maths every year. You know, them know say when it comes to the paper 2, at least half of who would do it now go write down proper on the paper. Honestly, I feel like them know. Because I think from my year when I do maths, 49% pass. 49% of people passed maths. 49%, that is less than half. For the entire Caribbean I pass maths. That don't look good. So as I feel like by now CXC know what to expect. Them know what them have to do. To move the little curve or move the cutoff point in order to give people some grade 3 or something. Them know what to do. But you can still pass, as I say, pray. And sure you did have a good SBA. That is why people, especially if you know you don't good for maths, don't lay with the maths SBA. Have a good maths SBA, because you know you're not writing up on the paper 2, or you're not writing much on the paper 2. That's why if you have a good SBA, and that is why you should practice the past paper videos from maths. Right, the paper 1. So at least you have a good SBA, and at least you have some good marks on the paper 1. So maybe if at least half of the paper 2 or less than half, you can make up and CXC can spare you 1 grade 3. Like honestly, because English and maths is mandatory. So as I said, do your SBA, do your paper 1, and pray over the paper 2. Right? But at the end of the day, the paper 2 is still the one with the most marks. So it means you still should write at least half of the paper. At least the half of the paper, even if you're not done the paper, write half of the paper. In my year, I not even finish the paper. I tell you the honest truth. I go home the day and I think Kerwin Spring and I go through the paper. And I said because I dropped down the first. I think I did like maybe the second, either the first or second. Is that maybe it's the first question, maybe part D or something? I don't know, one of the part them and the first question. I mean, I said, what is the answer, my name Kerwin Springer. What kind of answer this him have? Right? I go home and I look on him and I say to my mother, I say that the answer here just looks so foreign, like I never said the answer here before. I say me shock. I feel like they don't want to drop down the evening, but I still pass, I pass with a grade 2. So if you leave piece of the paper 2 blank, pray about it and hopefully you'll pass, right? Pray about it. Anyways, this is the end of today's video. This is how the grading works. So after watching this video, you should know if you've passed your exam, yes or no. I hope everybody does great. If you want to see my CXC results video, it's down in the description. If you want to see the CXC playlist, it's also down in the description. If you want to know how to access your CXC results, it's also down in the description. Anyways, that is the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And that is the end of today's video. So bye guys.